Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's training. Today, we're talking about the power of identity and why it matters in your business. So say hello as you guys are hopping on. You may notice that this is pre-recorded. It's like 12:15 right now. I'm recording it just a few minutes before we're doing it because I have to go get a COVID test because I'm going out of town, and the only time they could get me in was 1:00 today. So you guys know I like to be here live, usually without a baby on my lap, but this is life today. It is what it is. So I will still be in the comments while I'm sitting at urgent care waiting on the test. So still talk to me like it's live. Say hi as you're hopping on. Let me know that you're there. And for those of you that are new, welcome. My name is Jerry. I am the founder of this Facebook group that you're in, Uplevel Your Coaching Business. I'm also the founder and creator of my 6-month business mentorship program, which is Profit Illumination Academy. And this is Juliana. I usually do not have a guest with me, but again, this isn't ideal situation today. Usually I am here live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, or of course you can catch the replays. So, as I mentioned, today we are talking about the power of identity and why it matters in your business. Or maybe a more appropriate title for this may have been the power of identity and why it's keeping you stuck in your business, right? And we're all stuck at different levels. So it could be some might be stuck trying to create their irresistible offer, trying to feel confident putting that offer out there. Others might be stuck at the 10K per month or the 30K per month level, or others might have an amazing offer, know that they're an amazing coach, but just are stuck because they feel weird actually promoting and selling it or talking about themselves. Doesn't matter. It's different for everyone. Even people that are at 100K per month still have things that are keeping them stuck. And if you've been in the personal development world, or you've been in the coaching world for longer than about 2 minutes, you probably know that we are programmed from the moment that we are born, right? Our thoughts and our beliefs aren't our thoughts and our beliefs. They are things that have been passed on to us, either things that we witnessed or things that we heard from other people, and our subconscious brain took this in as fact. And most of these things happening before the age of 7 years old. That's not like in stone, but most of it's before the age of 7. And it affects every area of our lives. But obviously, we are a business Facebook group. I run a business mentorship. So we're going to specifically talk about it today related to how this affects your business. So some of you may have already noticed some of these limiting beliefs, right? So let me know if you are aware of how it's keeping you stuck in your business. It can be just a yes or a no, or if you've pinpointed specific things, let me know that in the comments, because again, I will be in the comments with you, even though this is a recording. So basically, if at some point in your life, your subconscious took in something like selling is icky or selling is gross, and you still have this belief ingrained in you, then you're probably not showing up and selling as much as you should be to have a successful business. Or maybe at some point you saw someone talking about themselves or promoting themselves, and you overheard other people talking about that person in a negative way, maybe using words like narcissistic or egotistical or whatever it is. And then your little kid brain took that in as fact, right? Took it in as it's bad, quote unquote, to promote yourself. So then you're probably not showing up 100% as yourself, promoting your business as much as you should be, right? If you learned that you should please others or you should get permission before you do things, you're probably worried that you might annoy people by showing up and talking about your business all the time, or people may not like you, right? Everyone's stories and beliefs are different based on what your subconscious took in. But the thing is that it shows up and it stops us from being our authentic selves. It stops us from believing that we are good enough, that we are worthy, that we can do this, right? And here's the thing. Thoughts create feelings. Feelings create actions, and actions create results, right? And maybe you've heard that before, or me just saying it kind of put it into perspective for you. But I'm reading this book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset, and Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And if you're not reading it or haven't read it, you should. It's by T. Harv Eker, E-K-E-R. But he takes it one step further, and he says programming creates thoughts, right? What I was talking about earlier, all the stuff that we take in. Programming creates thoughts. Thoughts create feelings. Feelings create actions. Actions create results. So you can see how it all starts with our programming, not even our thoughts or our feelings. And I already knew this, right? Because I already knew our subconscious controls our thoughts. But seeing it there in black and white just really stuck out for me that, oh my gosh, the results that I'm creating in my business are all a result of the programming that's creating my thoughts, that's creating my feelings, that's creating my actions, right? It all started with something that was programmed into me by someone else. So same for you, and usually passed down from generation to generation, right? So those beliefs that I mentioned a minute ago, like selling is icky or promoting yourself is narcissistic, kept me stuck in my business for a long time because I was scared to show up as myself. I was scared to sell. I was scared that people were going to be annoyed with me. And it was keeping me from showing up 100% in my business. And you have to, if you're going to have a successful business, a successful coaching business, part of that is you have to tell your story. You have to talk about yourself. You have to market yourself, and you have to sell. Otherwise, you don't have a business because you won't be making any money. You just have a really expensive and time-consuming hobby if you're not making any money. So how do we change our thoughts? How do we change this programming that has been ingrained in us since the moment that we were born? Especially when our subconscious controls 95% of our thoughts. Our subconscious controls 95% of our thoughts, which is where all of that programming and beliefs, that's where all of that hangs out, right? So how on earth are we supposed to compete with 95% with that other 5% of your brain that's the conscious logical part? How do you compete with 95% when you're only 5%? Even though logically, when you think about it, you know those limiting beliefs aren't true, right? But you find yourself doing the same things, having the same fears, having the same thoughts, or being stuck at a certain income level or whatever it is. That is where the power of identity comes in, okay? And so here's the thing. The way your subconscious mind views you is the only thing that matters. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. The way that your subconscious mind views you is the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter how other people view you. It only matters how your subconscious is viewing yourself, right? And so let me give you an example. It doesn't matter if everyone else is telling you that you are the most amazing coach in the world and that you have something really special. If you don't believe that, if you don't believe you're good enough, then you're not going to show up and take the actions needed to create that successful coaching business. Vice versa, everybody in the world could be telling you that you suck and that you shouldn't be doing this. But if you believed deep down, without a shadow of a doubt, if you knew that you had something special to offer and that you were an amazing coach, you wouldn't care what anyone else said. You would put yourself out there anyways. You would do whatever it took to succeed. It's because it doesn't matter how anyone else views you. It only matters how you view yourself. And so if any of you follow Catherine Zankina, I think I'm saying her last name right, on Instagram, she is Manifestation Babe. She says our identity controls our values. Our values control our beliefs. Our beliefs control our behaviors, and our behaviors control our environment. Okay? So it goes identity, values, beliefs, behaviors, environment. Okay. So our identity is whatever we believe about ourselves, right? So if we believe I am stupid, or we believe I am intelligent, or we believe I am worthy of everything that I desire, or if we believe I'm not worthy of receiving what I want, it doesn't matter. Whatever your subconscious believes, that is your identity. And there have been so many studies done that prove that this is fact. There was actually one that really stuck out with me, that they took a bunch of kids that thought that they were not intelligent, that had this identity of themselves that they were dumb or they were stupid. And they had them take tests, and they did really bad on the tests. Then they had them take another test, but told them, answer as if you were one of the smart kids in the class. Answer as if you were this person in the class, right? Somebody that they believed, that the kid believed was smart. And they scored so much higher on the test by pretending to think like somebody else. So it actually didn't have anything to do with their intelligence level. It only had to do with their belief of themselves. And we all know how public education works, right? It was probably, these kids were probably actually really, really smart. It was just that they thought differently, so they weren't good test takers. Or they just had a different way of learning, or whatever it was, right? But it was their identity that was causing them to score poorly on these tests, okay? So that's a perfect example of how their programming was controlling their thoughts, which was controlling their actions, right? Their identity, what their subconscious believed about themselves, was controlling the final result, the failing the test. Okay, so that's identity. Next, we have our values, right? That is what is important to me. Well, your values are going to be determined by what you believe your identity is. And I'm going to give you a full example of how this showed up in my business in just a minute, okay? So that's values, what you think is important to you. Next is your beliefs. And this is what we think is true, right? When that's just the way things are, kind of thing. Oh, really? You guys, let me know as I'm doing this, who else has kids? Who else works with a kid on their lap all the time, or a baby, or gets constant interruptions? Just let me know. We've all been there. We're not alone here. Anyways, so the beliefs are how you see the way things are, right? What you believe is fact, even if realistically we know that that's not fact. Then you have behavior, and this is what you actually do based on your identity, your values, and beliefs, the actions that you take. And then your environment is obviously the external result based on your actions, what shows up in your reality based on the actions that you take. So I'm going to give you an example of how this showed up in my business, but as I'm talking about myself, I really want you to think about how this shows up in your business. And your examples might be similar to mine, or they might be a little bit different. So I have always identified as someone who was timid, someone who was shy. I was a people pleaser. I was quiet. I valued that everyone liked me, right? That people thought of me as just the nice, kind, quiet girl, the respectful girl that got along with everyone. So that was my identity, that timid, shy, quiet, kind person, right? So because that was what I identified as, I valued things like everyone liking me, never wanting to ruffle anyone's feathers, never annoying anyone. So if those were my values, my beliefs was just be quiet, never be the center of attention, never confront anyone, don't stick up for what you believe, right? Because this is what I need to do to be this person that everybody likes. So what were my behaviors? I made sure I was never center of attention. I avoided speeches. I avoided confrontation. I avoided doing anything that was outside of my comfort zone. I hated talking in front of groups, right? You can see how all of my behaviors all relayed back to what I thought was important, what my values were, because I identified as this timid, shy person, but everybody liked me because I never ruffled anyone's feathers. I never got in any arguments. I was always super nice. I was the reliable one, all of this stuff. So what happened when I started my business? I didn't want to sell because I didn't want to be annoying. I didn't want to get on anyone's nerves. I didn't want anyone to think that it was icky or I was being salesy. I would post here and there, but I wasn't consistent about it because I didn't want, again, kept coming back to, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, she's posting again. Really? She's talking about her business again. So you can see really quickly how my identity was controlling everything that I was thinking and doing in my business. I started off selling a really cheap program because I didn't want anyone to think, who is she trying to sell this high ticket thing, right? I was scared to charge what my program was worth, what I deserved to be compensated for. And all of my behaviors reflected what I believed in myself, what I identified as. So as you're going through this, I want you to identify your identity, right? And then think about it, write it down. What kind of values do I have related to that? Okay, then what kind of beliefs do I have? How is that controlling my actions and controlling my external environment? Because when I did this, and I realized that I was valuing the wrong things, I needed to change my identity. It completely changed my business. So I want you to see how the power of your identity, basically the power of your subconscious and how your subconscious views you, how you view yourself, determines everything in your business. Okay? So how the heck are you going to change it once you figure that out? You've got to reprogram your subconscious. You have to change how your subconscious views you, and you have to change your identity. And so what ends up happening, where most people get this wrong, is most people try to change their behaviors. They start on the wrong level instead of starting with identity. Because if you're not getting to the root of the problem, your subconscious, your programming, then you're not going to make changes that are long-term. You might see some immediate results, but they're going to be short-term results, right? It's the same reason the people, when it comes to working out and eating healthy, so many people start off really strong, and then 2 weeks later, they've completely fallen off the bandwagon because they start with just changing the behaviors instead of getting to the root programming that has been ingrained in them for so long. Right? You have to understand that your beliefs about yourself are actually just an opinion. They are not fact, and they can be changed, but you also have to understand that it is not going to happen overnight, that it is something that you have to work on every single day. Because remember what I said at the beginning, 95% of our brain is controlled by our subconscious. So you're using 5% to try to rewrite your identity. Okay. So no wonder people do their affirmations or their meditation or their hypnosis or whatever they're using, EFT, whatever, for a few weeks. And then as soon as they start to see a little bit of change, they fall off the bandwagon, and then it doesn't work. And they wonder why they're not getting long-term results. It's just like working out, right? If you were to work out for 6 months, eat healthy for 6 months, get in really good shape, but then stop because you feel like, oh, I've already hit that level. I'm there. I'm in the shape I wanted to. And then you don't work out again, or you only work out once a week. You're going to lose some of that muscle that you built up, right? Your mind is the same way. Your mind's just like a muscle. This is something that you are going to keep going and keep doing even after you see results. This is still something that I do today, right? And actually, I feel like I do it more today now that I've seen that it actually works and I've changed my identity. I got to keep doing it because I don't want to lose that. So Again, everyone's going to be different. You're going to have to figure out what resonates with you. If it's affirmations, meditation, hypnosis, EFT, whatever it is, or a combination of all of the above or a few of the above, but you have to be consistent and never stop doing it. Okay? That is how you are going to change their programming. That is how you are going to change your identity. And that is how you are going to get a different result in your business. If you're stuck at the still trying to come up with my offer, if you're stuck at the 10K mark, the 30K mark, whatever it is, that's how you're making it to the next level. Okay. So I want to know, you guys, what are you going to start doing today? And make a pledge, affirm in the comments right now that you are going to be consistent with it, that you are going to continue it every single day. What is it going to be? To start rewriting that programming. And if you know that you are ready to commit, if you are tired of being stuck, right? And you know that you are going to do whatever it takes to create a successful online coaching business. If you're ready to take that leap and create 10K plus months, then I want to invite you to schedule a strategy call with me to discuss what that looks like. We will talk about your business, where you are at now in your business. We will talk about your goals. We will talk about the challenges that are keeping you stuck. And then if it sounds like a good fit, I will invite you to join us inside my 6-month business mentorship, Profit Illumination Academy, and we can talk about what that looks like. If it doesn't sound like it's a good fit, or if it's not the right time for you, then you're still going to get some business tips. We're going to figure out together what you should do next to continue to move the needle forward in your business. So either way, it's a win-win for you, right? You're walking away with some tips either way. So if you know that you're ready to commit, you're ready to make a change, you're ready to stop being stuck at this level that you're at right now, then say strategy call in the comments, and I will send you the link to schedule a free call with me, and we can chat about your business. All right, so I will see you guys next week. We are talking about creating an irresistible high ticket offer. Yes, high ticket offer. And again, thank you for bearing with us. She actually did really, really well. I'm impressed. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.